guys, okay, so in this video I'm going to tell you about the 5 components to leading a much more alkaline lifestyle. Now if you're not sure what alkaline or acidity is, make sure to check out 29 plus components of an acidic lifestyle. We go into more detail there. But in this video, let's get straight to how to create an alkaline lifestyle. See you on the inside. Okay guys, so the number one thing you can do to become more alkaline is, of course, drink better water. That means more water in some cases. A lot of people don't realize that 2 liters a day is the minimum for an adult, especially if you're working excessively hard, if you're working out excessively hard, or if you have an over-acidic body. So you want to make sure that you have good, high-quality water, not chlorinated or fluoridated water. You want to think about water carrying a signature and a mineral purpose. So think about the old days when we used to get our water that came up through the ground, right? So water defies gravity. It defies a lot of laws of nature, and it comes up. And through that, and Dr. Masaru taught us this, that there's a signature, there's a language of water. So there's a lot of, I guess, electromagnetic slash different frequencies or a language that when we drink water, it puts into our cells. Now, most people are really excited to drink alkaline water, and they've got all these different filters and they've got all this different stuff, but there's a real disadvantage to those types of waters if they don't carry the minerals that you need to have. So I'm going to read this straight from what Elise put inside of her Restore Your Alkaline Advantage ebook, and it says this: is drinking high pH alkaline water actually good for you? It says a glass of water at a pH of 9, which is quite high, can have low, medium, or high alkalinity and everything in between, depending on what's dissolved in it. It is what is in the water that makes all the difference. We need to realize that you can have a high pH water, but very little, if any, alkalinity, meaning the water hardly buffers the body's acid condition at all, because alkalinity does not depend only on pH. So this is pretty interesting stuff, because I didn't realize this either. pH measures the degree of alkalinity, but not its power. It is not enough to just drink high pH alkaline water. In fact, pH is not a big factor at all when one is trying to alkalize the body. Water must have the essential bicarbonates and electrolytes to alkalize the body's tissues. Okay, so this is really interesting. And you know, our water used to pick that up as it came through the earth. Now we put tubes down and we suck it out with pumps, and we put it in a big tank and we pump it full of chemicals. So you really have to be aware of the type of water that you're drinking. Obviously, at the end of this, I'm going to lead you to our Life Force FX, because you can put that in your water and you can make it alkaline and you can start revitalizing your cells with it. But you just really want to be aware that when you're buying these filters, or I mean, some of them are really expensive, and they're touting that you're making the water alkaline, but they're not actually putting any good minerals in it. So be aware of that, okay? All right, so the second thing you really want to pay attention to when going for an alkaline lifestyle, of course, is breath. You know, we need to oxygenate every cell of our body. Every healthy cell lives in an oxygenated environment. So what happens when you're leading an acidic lifestyle? So you're drinking a lot. Let's think of holiday season again. So you're drinking a lot, you're hanging out, you're doing lots of barbecues, you're eating lots of meat, you know, you're maybe not exercising so much. And what happens is each and every single blood cell in your body has a positive and negative charge. Now, when you think about a good oxygenated body, you've got these little tiny red blood cells going through these little tiny capillaries or capillaries, and that sometimes they're so small that only one red blood cell gets through at a time. Just one, boop, 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 right? So when you're acidic, you've got a positive and negative charge with your blood cells, and this negative charge sits on the outside, and they sort of repel each other, right? So it's like putting a magnet up against another negative magnet, and they repel each other. That there's a point to it, right? So there's a point so that you can get each and every blood cell through each and every little capillary. Well, what happens when you're acidic is that negative charge comes off, and then your blood starts to stack like a coin, like a bunch of coins. They sort of protect each other from this acid environment. Well, at that point, you're not getting a lot of oxygen through to each and every bit of the tissues and every cell of your body. So this becomes a problem. Over time, you can imagine, without oxygenating your blood properly, or your tissues or your cells properly, now we're getting this like aerobic versus anaerobic environment. And we all know that rogue cells, you know, these cancerous cells, these crazy ones that go off and start doing their own thing, it's because they're cut off. They don't actually understand what's going on because they're not getting the oxygen and they're not getting the message from the rest of the body. So it's really important that you create an alkaline environment so each and every little blood cell can get through each and every little capillary in the body. So keep that in mind, but make sure to check out that video, that photo that I've just put up, because that is very important. The third thing that's super important, and most people don't realize, is that our emotions actually cause an acidic environment as well. So let's say you're under a consistent state of stress, you're in a state of shame or guilt or anger or fear or just inadequacy or anything like that. Those emotions actually trigger cascades of all kinds of information running through all of our cells, and they create an acid environment, especially the hormones they release, right? So you really want to realize that deep breathing, taking yourself into a moment of calm, and starting to appreciate the small things in the moment that you have available to you is really important, because these states of joy, and of excitement and happiness and appreciation and gratitude, they create beautiful states of, well, not just hormone release in the body, but also you're able to breathe. Okay, so it kind of goes along with the last one, but at the same time, all of these chemical reactions that we have in our body come from our emotions, and you really have to keep yourself in a state of appreciation and gratitude and joy and presence in order to breathe deeply and release positive creating hormones that create an alkaline environment, or encourage an alkaline environment in your life. And these are important things to do, so don't look over your emotions. And it doesn't come down to just food and minerals, right? So much more going on. But now that we're on the conversation about food, let's get to number 4. So food is very important, and we know that food and drink, of course, are very important. So we talked about water in the first one. Obviously, foods that are going to create a more acid environment are going to be lots of meats, lots of processed foods, lots of cheeses, lots of carbohydrates. Anything, like even breads and stuff, if they're like white breads. Really, honestly, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure out that eating your fruits and vegetables and nuts and whole grains are going to be more alkaline forming. They're in their whole food state. They have alkaline minerals inside of them. They have water. They have their own energy and vibrance to them. So all of those things are going to create more of an alkaline environment. You want to stay away from, and sugars is a big thing. Sugar is high acid as well. When it comes to fruit, remember, a whole food fruit is better than just like having a juice, because a juice, if you're just drinking sugary juices, those are going to be issues that you're going to get issues there as well. So, it's really simple. It's fruits and vegetables, nuts, seeds, and whole grains, like your grandma taught you. All right, guys, number 5, last but not least, is minerals. Now, minerals are so important to our body. And of course, if you've seen any of our other videos, you know that we're big on this. This is the foundation of life. Without minerals, enzymes don't work. Without enzymes, no life works, right? Without minerals, you don't have bones in your body that are healthy, and you don't have hair, nails, skin. Everything that creates you requires minerals, and our soil is so depleted in minerals at this point. So I want you to really, really make sure that you understand how important minerals specifically are to buffering the acids in your body. And I even sort of touched on this when I said number 1, which was water. You've got to have the right minerals in your water in order for the pH balance and to happen, but also just to replenish and even build up the reserves. A lot of people are so depleted in minerals that they need to build those reserves back up so their body can actually have a chance to sort of reestablish this alkaline base that it needs. So I would love for you, of course, to like and share this video, but you really need to check out our Life Force FX, our handmade, incredible, balanced mineral supplement that's going to alkalize you, and it's going to get you the results that you're looking for rapidly when it comes to making sure that you're living in an alkaline state. One of my favorite things about Life Force FX is even during these holiday seasons where we're doing maybe not so great things by, hanging out and doing lots of barbecues and doing lots of drinking and partying and all that sort of stuff, the Life Force FX is sort of that little savior that comes in and just makes sure that everything continues on smoothly, that you're not getting sick, that you're balancing your pH all the way through all of the crazy, funny, silly seasons. So jump on our website, say hello, and if you have any questions, make sure to message us. But otherwise, Life Force FX, you won't forget it now, is your go-to.